Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Coffee Rush. Let's check it out.
Setup for the game is very simple. You're going to take your player board, put your little upgrade tokens in the imprinted boxes here. You're going to take three little awesome looking coffee cups, little plastic coffee cups. You're going to have the open tile here, have all your resources and your Coffee Rush tokens here. Shuffle your deck. The first player starts with 2 in their number 1 slot and 1 in their number 2 slot. All other players start with 1 and 1 in each of their decks. And what you're going to do, starting with the first player, is place your workers in any starting space and then go. You take turns by moving your player 3 spaces on the board and collecting whatever resources you cover. So, for instance, let's say I'm the green player and I go and I get milk, chocolate, and I think that's whipped cream. So I take all of those ingredients here and I can put them into one of the 3 coffee cups. Now, if you've got something that you can't put in a coffee cup, you can't keep it. It just gets discarded. It has to be something that you had on one of your order cards. But in this example, look at this. This Cafe Mocha, it needs all 3 of those. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the Cafe Mocha. Now, in our games, we just kind of put it on top of the card to kind of remind us what goes with what. But that's just a house rule there. And so then blue player will go. Now, when you're doing these, the only rule is you can't end your turn where another player is. You could, let's say if blue is starting here, he could pass through a player and get that resource, but he may not end his turn on the same space as another player. And they're only going to move orthogonally across the board. That's all they can do. So, blue player moves and they get their 3 things, and then it's my turn again. And this time I'm going to go, let's say, 1, 2, 3. So I got ice, milk, and coffee. Well, for those coffee beans, that's going to complete this order. And for the milk and the ice, I'm going to put that in 2 different spots here. One for this one, so the Americano's got some ice. And this one, the milk tea, has some milk. Now, I have finished this one, so what I'm going to do is dump this out, put the ingredients back into the supply, and then move the card that I finished over to the left side of the board. Now, once I've done that, and you can complete 2 or 3 at a time, but if I did 1, then all the other players are going to have to take a card immediately after my turn, push all their orders down. First player won't have to do this, but other players will, and then they'll get another card. I won't. I'll still be at 2. But let's say if I was to complete 2 on that turn, let's say I got this one and the Americano, okay? Mine would stay the same. This milk tea was up here, but all other players would receive 2 cards that would go into slot 1. So the only time you get more orders is when one of the other players completes an order, 1 or 2, or maybe 3. I don't know if you could ever do that, but maybe you could. And if so, those go in your number 1 slot and these move down. Now, if you ever move down below 4 and you did not complete an order, let's say this order got pushed all the way down past 4, what you'll do is you'll flip it over and leave it here. It's going to be worth negative points at the end of the game. One other thing is whenever you complete an order with a specialty menu, you'll get one of these rush tokens. What a rush token does, it gives you a bonus move whenever you want to use it. So in this case, let's say I really needed a few things here. I need a bonus move to get past this. I'd go 1, 2, 3, and then use my bonus move 4. And I would get all 4 of those resources and put them in the cups to fill orders. Now, once someone has completed their 3rd order here, they would get to unlock one of their upgrades. And the upgrades are very simple. This says, hey, get double the amount of resources whenever you play on another whenever you land on another player. So here I get 2 tea leaves and then move on. Or this one that obviously lets me move diagonally now, which is really good. Or this one that gives me doubles of resources all in the corner. So whenever I go here, I'll get double milk, or double whipped cream, or double espresso beans, or double ice. And then finally is this one. You'll get double the amount whatever tiles have this icon. And the tiles that have this icon, there's only 1 on the board of each one. It's caramel, chocolate, water, and tea. But if you flip this over, you'll get double the amount of those hard to find ingredients. Now, the game ends when when a player misses their 5th order or more. Once they get past 5, the game ends. We move this to close, and everyone counts up their points. The points are you get a victory point for every card you completed. You get -1 victory point for every card you did not complete, and then you get +2 victory points for every upgrade you unlocked. And whoever has the most points wins.
Final thoughts. What do you think about the game? Wow. Didn't even know this existed. I've been looking for a coffee theme game for some time, ever since I woefully funded the game Seize the Bean. Now, I canceled that after 3 years when they didn't bring it out. I know they eventually did, but I'm not interested anymore. But I've always wanted a coffee making game. I don't like coffee, but I have 3 brothers who are baristas, and I love the theme of this. And so I said, let me try this one out. I just saw this one. This one was not on my radar, kind of slipped under the radar. And I found it by just honestly just looking at, I was looking for something else and came across this. Like, what's this? Had some gift cards, ordered it on Amazon, got it in. The pieces are beautiful. The game is so much fun. And it's very thematic because as you're completing orders, you're putting more pressure on the other players to complete their orders. There was one time I only had 1 order on the board. And I mean, I was doing good, but I was like, dang, what happens if I finish this? I was kind of wanting people to finish some orders so I could get some more orders. But remember, every 3 that you get, you're doing an upgrade. I don't know which one's better, really. We did a lot of diagonal ones, but I remember someone flipped theirs over to get double the amount of resources when they land on other players. And there is a 4-player game, so there's a lot of double resources they got, and then that one became popular. The little 2 times square for the chocolate, caramel, water, and tea, that's a very popular one too. I don't think anyone's flipped over the corner one yet, but either way, though, it's that extra 2 victory points. Either way, I really think this is great. This is an amazingly game. And my gaming group, when they played it, we all loved it instantly. We all loved it. We couldn't stop talking about it. I've played it several times since, and yes, this is a good game. I don't know where it would rank right now, but I think it's going to rank high. Anyway, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!